Surface area of prisms. What's to somebody's? Oh. Okay, do you need a piece of paper and then you can glue it in?
Oh, I found it. Oh,
Yay.
I found it.
Yeah. I'm so glad. Alright, so surface area of prisms today. Alright, so surface area, we need to identify that. We're going to be doing surface area for the first half of this chapter. The second half of the chapter, we're going to be doing volume. And then the last lesson, we'll do both. Yeah.
Look. It's in prison.
Oh, no.
Prism.
It's a good one, actually. It's really funny.
This is a joke.
I liked it. Okay, I'm going to start notes now.
Why?
Because otherwise we're going to do this for the...
Do you have notes on?
No. Alright, surface area is the sum. Tomorrow's notes will be a lot shorter, though. Is it? Or is it pyramid? Yeah, tomorrow's notes are short. Alright, the sum, what does that word sum mean to do? Add, good. So if you want to put that in parentheses, add. The sum of all the faces face areas, not faces. Sorry. Of a solid. So we're going to be doing surface area of all the solids first. We're going to go through prisms, then cylinders tomorrow, then pyramids, and then cones. And then after we do surface area, we'll break into some of the volume.
What about sphere?
Sphere will come at the end because we'll do surface area and volume of spheres at the same. Alright, so when we think of a prism, remember, what are some things, you guys all have prisms at your tables. What are some things that make a prism a prism? Good, there's rectangles on the sides. And how many bases are there? 2. So we have 2 bases. So when we find surface area, we're going to say SA equals. So surface area equals. We're going to start with the area of the base. And the base is the 2 shapes that are congruent. So this one, my shape is a pentagon. Depending on what shape you are touching right now, yours might be a square, or it might be a triangle, or a hexagon, or a triangle. Lang. Yes. See everything. Alright, so we have B is our area of base. And how many bases are there on all the prisms?
4.
No. 2. So we're going to say 2, and then we use a capital B. This capital B is really important that it's capitalized. Okay? That stands for the area of the base. Okay, and that capital B is different than the lowercase b. We use a lowercase b when we're actually finding the area. This uppercase B just works for all shapes. Okay, plus, okay, now we need to do all the sides. So we said that the sides are what shapes? Rectangles. How do we find the area of a rectangle? I will in a second, yes. How do we find the area of a rectangle? Base times height. We're going to use that though. Okay, so if I have to do base times height, and then I have to multiply by how many sides there are. All these rectangles are congruent in this case, but they're not always congruent. So instead, if I fold it out, if I take this, Carter, what is happening?
It's like...
Okay. Thanks. I'm asking you to stop. Thank you. Okay, if I fold this out, all those little rectangles create what? A big rectangle. I can't even zoom out long enough, big enough to see that. So it creates a big rectangle. Okay, so for that big rectangle, we still have this height going this way between the pentagons is our height. But how long is it going to be?
4.
It goes around the shape. So what word do we use to go around a shape? Perimeter. So we're taking this perimeter, we're making that a whole length times the height. Okay, so here's the second part of our formula, is that we add it to that big rectangle, the perimeter times height, PH. Okay, P stands for perimeter of the base. And then we have H. Okay, so you don't find a seat. That's not a seat up there. Thank you. Okay, H stands for height. When we talk about the height of a solid, the height is always the amount between the bases. So kind of a lot there to write down and a lot of information for us. So make sure you have that all written down, and then there is a glue in. You can glue it either on the left or the right side, whichever way makes your life better. You do not need to cut it apart.
It's not a trophy. We're a kitchen business. It's 78. It's 78.
There you go. Good. She's got it. As long as she figures it out at the end, it's okay if you make a mistake at the beginning. All right, get this glued in. We have 3 examples, so we want to get through this so you have time to do your practice. Okay, so get this glued in, give you about 15 more seconds. Hi.
Where's mine, miss?
I put it on your desk. Is it not there?
You take mine?
Not sure. There you go. Not a big deal. Okay, so these are the 3 variables we need to find, the 3 inputs for every shape. We need to find the area of the base, the perimeter of the base, and then the height. Those are the 3 numbers we need in order to do this. Okay? So as we do this, we're going to need to identify what the base is first off. So in this prism, remember these are like first name, last name. Their last name is always prism. What's the first name of this one? What kind of shape is our base? A triangle. Okay, so if you want to use your colored pencil, I'm going to highlight that triangle with one color. Okay, so we need B, capital B. We know it's a triangle. So we need to know how to find the area of a triangle, because capital B stands for area. So what's our formula for area of a triangle?
Triangle?
Yep.
1/2.
1/2. Lowercase b for base times
8.
H, height. Okay, Joey, Carter. Hi. You guys are so chit-chatty over there.
Can you just help me because I just thought it.
Oh, okay.
Can you go up a little bit? Like just a hair, like a small bit. Yeah.
Okay, so as I look at this, I'm doing 1/2, and I need to identify my base and my height of my triangle. So as I look at this triangle, height always has to make 90 degrees. So 6.3 is my height, and my base has to be where that 90-degree angle is. Okay, for your house of high. So my base is where this 90-degree angle is. It's going across this side. How long is that side going to be? 8. Good. So even though this 8 is representing the back, this is also 8 here. So 8. Okay, so we throw that into Desmos. 1/2, 8 times 6.3. Okay, Desmos open. So 1/2 times 8 times 6.3. We get 25.2. We're not ready yet for the formula, though. We need 2 other things. We need the P and the H. So P stands for perimeter. And that's the perimeter of the triangle that we highlighted. So we're just adding up all the sides. So on one side I have a 7. Plus, what's the other side of the triangle? 8. And then what's my third side? Yeah, it's another 8. So this one is an isosceles triangle. Nice job, Saido. You did it. Isosceles. All right, so as we add that, we can add it in our heads or use a calculator. 7 plus 8 plus 8. Yep, 23. Okay, now this is the part that can be a little challenging, is the height. Okay, this height is different than the height that we used before. Can I use this? Thanks. Okay, this height is not the same as this height. This was the height of the triangle. This is going to be the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is always the space. I'm going to cover this up. Don't panic. It's always the space between the bases. Okay, so if I have my triangle here, it doesn't matter where those triangles are. We usually think of height as how tall it is. But if my triangles are like this, then my height is going this way. Okay, it's the side or the length connecting the triangles. So what part is connecting my front triangle to my back triangle here? Yeah, the 6. So you have to kind of think, what's that extra part that's connecting my front to my back, or the 2 triangles together? And that's 6. Okay. Oh my goodness, 2 chatty catties over there. Hi. All right, so for our formula here, we're going to say SA equals surface area equals, and then we're plugging in these numbers now. So it goes 2. That 2 is always there, because how many bases do we have? 2, a front and a back. So 2 times, what was the area of our base? 25.2 plus, and then it goes perimeter times height. So our perimeter was 23 times our height is 6. So this is our B, P, H. Okay, we throw that in our calculator. So 2 times 25.2 plus 23 times 6. And our answer is 188.4. Now we are measuring a distance or an amount, a unit. So what are we measuring in this one? Fabiana? Yes. Nice to meet you. All right, so 188.4, what is our measuring? What are we measuring in this one? Miles, and it's area. So are we going to do miles, square miles, or cubic miles? Square miles. Okay, we have 2 more that we're going to go through. Shouldn't take us too long here. This next one, what is our base shape?
Right.
A rectangle. So with this one, when we do our rectangular prism, it's a little goofy because all the sides are rectangles. So we need to pick one of the rectangles to be our base.
The bottom.
Okay, which one do you see as the bottom? Because it kind of flips out.
The one with the...
With the 5 and
Yeah.
the 10? With the squares?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to highlight that one as my base. So you do have to pick one as your base because you have to keep using that same base as we go. That's also going to dictate what our height is. Yep. Yeah, so like last year, my group, I'm looking at my notes from last year, we did this 5 by 8 one. But we're going to get the same answer. What? Because all the sides are rectangles. There's not a shape that's different. In the other one, there's 2 triangles and then rectangles. This one's it's just all rectangles, so it doesn't matter. All right, so in this one, what's the area of a rectangle? Base times height. So what's our base and our height of this base, this rectangle? 5 times 10. 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, then we have our P for perimeter. And that goes around the outside of that rectangle. So what parts are we going to add together for that outside? 5 plus 10 plus 5 plus 10. Going around that outside of that rectangle. Okay. Ishmael, you're good. All right, so 5 plus 10 is 15. 5 plus 10 is 15. 15 plus 15? 30. Okay, Mustafa, hi, focus. All right, then we need to find the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is different than the height that we've been using. This is where we're looking between kind of the top and the bottom of those rectangles. Sometimes it goes side to side, it goes back, but this one, we're going in between the 5 and the 10 here. So what's that side that connects the rectangles? Yep, this one it's going to be 8. Okay, and then we plug that into the formula. Surface area equals 2 times the area of our base. What was our area of the base? 50. Plus perimeter times height. So our perimeter is 30 times our height, 8. Okay, so 2 times 50 plus 30 times 8. We get a nice even number there, 340 square kilometers. Good. Okay, that is going to be a question on the test at the end of this unit. The test isn't for a while, so chill. Okay, but it's going to ask you, how do you measure surface area? Is it just kilometers, square kilometers, or cubic kilometers? And with area, it's always with the squared. So we're literally measuring how many squares fit into it. All right, is there any questions on where we got any of this information from in the second one? The 50, the 30, or the 8? We're all seeing how it's connected. Okay, last one. What kind of prism is this one? What's its first name? Good, pentagonal prism. So we're going to find the area of the base. And the base this time is the pentagon. Okay, if it helps you to highlight kind of the bottom also, you can, because there's 2 of those bases. It might be helpful to see that those are the ones that are connected. Okay, so this one's a little goofy. This goes back to 11.4. What is our area formula for a regular polygon? One half. Yep, then our A, lowercase a, what does that stand for? The apothem. And then times the perimeter. Okay, so for our base, we're going to do that 1/2 apothem perimeter. So we have to still know all these formulas from last chapter. Okay, so 1/2, what's my apothem of the pentagon? Where it goes from the edge to the center. 6.2. Now I need the perimeter. Perimeter we have to think about carefully. We have 5 sides, and each side is 9. So we are actually going to find that eventually anyways. Might as well do it here. So 5 times 9, or 9 times 5. What's 9 times 5? 45. OMG. It's like 3, you did not. All right, 1/2